Hi and welcome to the first St Kilda and Bayside report for the year 2016. I'm Jeremy Roses and I'm joined by my partner Philip Kingston. Great to have you on the show, Phil.
What a lovely introduction. I thought that was very, very smooth. Lovely to be here. Lovely to be part of this Bayside edition. I haven't done it for quite some time. You're normally doing it with Gary, and a fine job you both do.
Thank you, Phil. Kind of you.
Having said that, what a delight to be here, because to get here, and we'll talk about where we are in a moment, but I had to drive along the bay.
You did.
And I've got to tell you, every day would be a great day if you drove along that bay. It's just looking magic out there today.
Well, it's a perfect segue, Phil, because every day you could drive along the bay if you bought this home.
Do you know what? You drive out of this street, and where are we again?
We are at townhouse or residence number 2 at 7 Marine Avenue in St Kilda, Phil. And I think what you're about to say, I don't want to steal your thunder, so you go for it.
You drive out from here and you head towards the water. So it doesn't matter whether you're getting up early or late, you can't help but smile by the time you're at the end of the street, because you're either going to turn left or you're going to turn right, but it's right there. It's the first thing you see in the morning. Magic.
This is where you want to be, Phil, and a beautiful home. And
take me through this.
So we're over 2 levels. We're in a development of 4, architecturally designed, and there's some features in here that are really superb. So on the ground floor, when you walk in, you've got 2 great sized bedrooms, and the master's got an ensuite and this gorgeous little alfresco outdoor little entertaining area, somewhere where you can read the paper in the morning with your cup of coffee, which is probably a very Bayside thing to do, I'm sure. And then you make your way up the stairwell and you've got this huge expansive living area.
Gorgeous room.
It's, great light, great space, huge soaring ceilings, open plan living. And as you said, Phil, just a stone's throw from Ackland Street, from Fitzroy Street, from the St Kilda Marina, from the beach. In the summer months, where else would you want to be but right here?
This is a real lifestyle location, and I think that when you've been lucky enough to live in a location like this, and for most of us this is like being on holiday.
Correct.
But it is a holiday atmosphere, and that's the joy of St Kilda and Elwood, that you've got the best facilities that Melbourne has on offer, and yet it's really holiday living to have all of those things that you've just said. But in the morning, to get up and see that first up, it's impossible not to start fresh each day.
Impossible not to be in a good mood when you live here.
Tell us about your market.
I just want to also say, really, really well priced here, Phil. $850 to $950 is where we expect the bulk of interest. So
wow.
Hopefully this soars beyond there, and we've got happy vendors and happy buyers, because this is going to be a great home for somebody when the time comes. And obviously the auction date here, Phil, which I'll be doing.
Up on screen now. You don't need to look for it, Jeremy. It's up on screen.
I may as well just say that it's the 5th of March.
Let me go back to what I just was asking a few moments ago.
Yes.
What's going on in your market?
We had a great finish to last year.
Yep.
So everything, and normally on this show, Phil, we do go backwards and talk about the results, but I don't think we're going to need to because everything's sold.
Why would you go back from 2016 to 2015? 2015 was a great year, but everybody's saying, what's going to happen in the market this year? Have you got a view?
I do, and I don't want to kind of push it upon people too hard, but one thing that I can tell you is that we've started this year with a real bang, and we haven't had a great deal of sales to go off because it's, there's not a lot of sales in January, but I think we had a record month in January in terms of sales.
Yep.
And in terms of the numbers of people through the homes, I did a round of opens on the weekend, and the average amount of people through is escalating almost 2-3-fold. It's the numbers are great, and the feeling of the people is great. I think it's going to be a really good year.
Viewers, what you need to consider is that when we start talking about where the market's going to go in February is really too early. There'll be a number of sales in February, but the real litmus test of how interest is going to be is always the numbers of people going through open for inspections. Because if the market's not doing well, the first thing that happens is that people drop off from coming through properties. But the numbers are in line with as much as we could expect for.
Absolutely.
If the market continues off the back of the numbers going through open for inspections, I think it's going to be a healthy year.
I think so too.
Even if it was a difficult year, and no one's predicting in Melbourne that it's going to be a difficult year, I think if you stick to the best locations in Melbourne, you cannot go wrong. And we're both real estate veterans. I've obviously been around the block a few more times than you have.
Obviously. I think the viewers could probably attest to that.
And it's showing. But if you buy into locations that are serviced well by public transport, terrific amenity, and obviously the beach is one of the best amenities you can buy anywhere in the world. But shops, public transport, beach amenity, schools, difference in housing, and this property ticks all of the boxes, and your area that you look after ticks all the boxes.
Well, we're kind of privileged, Phil, because all of those aspects that you talked about that make up great real estate, we're privileged to actually work in those areas. It's kind of inner city Melbourne, which has all of those delights. And I think St Kilda is a suburb that, you know, if you invest your money here, you will not go wrong.
Talking of investing money, I mean, the share market is just the most abysmal place at the moment. And when I look at a basket of supposedly blue chip stocks, you know, the obvious, of course, is BHP, which has halved in value over the last 12, 18 months. You know, the joy of property is that over time, real estate in Melbourne in the inner suburbs goes up dramatically over time. So for those of you that are thinking about investing, you've looked at the share market and you've said, nah, that's not for us, you can still buy a one-bedroom apartment in your territory for $300,000 to $350,000. And if you think about putting a tenant in, a small deposit down, really doesn't cost much to own an investment property. So I suggest speak to one of our consultants at our St Kilda office about 1 and 2 bedroom apartments.
And Phil, you're just magnificent today with the segues, because you've just...
unrehearsed and everything.
It's just amazing, because we may as well talk about our first auction for this year, which is coming
up.
What is it? It's going to be in February, this month, on the 20th of February, at 7 at 20 Tennyson Street in St Kilda. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1-car apartment. They're 550 to 6 of the range there. I'm lucky enough to do the auction, and Leon is going to be conducting the bulk of the inspections. But that is a great apartment opposite the St Kilda Gardens there, Phil. And we had a family day at the St Kilda Gardens just a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
That was fun.
And just on that, viewers, we might put some footage up, not just of the family day, but of the St Kilda Gardens. I've driven past a million times, but I haven't been there for a few years. It is one of Melbourne's best kept secrets, because it's huge. It's
huge, and it's not very often that you can go down to a park and you can see people juggling those 10-pin bowling pins whilst on a string from one tree to another, and then young kids playing football, mothers feeding babies. It's St Kilda, it's got everything, and it was a great day. You know, you can be in those gardens, massive as they are, and literally walk from there a few steps and you're in Ackland Street. Yep, and then a few steps from there you're in the beach. So really, it's cosmopolitan living at its finest. And one thing I can say, viewers, over the journey of me being in real estate, Tennyson Street has always done well. Literally anything I've ever sold over time in Tennyson Street has done well, because you can walk to the shops, you can walk to the trams, you can walk to the gardens, you can walk to the beach. That ticks so many boxes. And it's a big apartment. It's a great apartment. What else have you got coming up? We'll go further afield, Bayside to East St Kilda, and Leora is selling this superbly renovated home. I've driven past this home many a day because my kids go to school opposite. The extension that they've done here is superb. This beautiful timber extension at the back. Just a fabulous home. I've had the joy of actually going through that property, Jeremy. Is it as good as it looks? Congratulations and a shout out to the owner of that property. The development that he has done there is incredible. The answer to your question is no, it's not as good as it looks. It's better than what it looks. Wow. It's been renovated. Renovated is probably a bad word. It's been rebuilt. Yeah, rebuilt from the ground up. And you walk into this home and you just feel the luxury. It just comes at you. The high ceilings, the boards, the bathrooms, the kitchen, and then of course the piece de resistance is that rooftop deck. It looks amazing. You own the world. I can just imagine drinks there in the evening. If you came home having had a difficult day, go up to the deck, glass of wine, and you would just chill very quickly. I think it's probably prudent that we make good friends with the owners of the new buyers. Correct. We could probably just enjoy a few functions. Put that into the contract of sale that we have unfettered access for the duration of their occupation. Not sure whether we mentioned the address, but it's 2 Sycamore Grove in St Kilda. It's going to auction on the 21st of February at 10:30 a.m. Again, 3.5 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and off-street parking for 2 cars in East St Kilda. A rarity somewhat. Yeah, huge bonus. Next we go further afield, just up the road, we're going down to Carlisle Street, apartment 15 at 311 Carlisle Street. Daniel Michmacher has the honours of conducting this sale. This is a great courtyard apartment, and we had it open on the weekend for the first time and had 60 or 70 groups through. So did you say 60 or 70 groups? There's your barometer. Viewers, just to give you an indication, normally through an apartment, if we get 30 groups through across the 4 weeks of an auction campaign, 30 groups, we're really happy with that. So you've got double the number of a normal campaign in 1 weekend. In 1 week. And I rang the owner just to let them know how the open went, and there was this silence on the other end of the phone, and then I just checked in to see that she was still there, and she couldn't believe that she'd have that many people. But that's what it is for a courtyard apartment in East St Kilda that's around about the value, circa 500. And again, viewers, 27th of Feb at 11:30 a.m. I'll be doing that auction. Looking forward to it. Based on those numbers, it should be
It should go well. And by the way, anything on Carlisle Street, just buy it.
Yeah.
Because Carlisle Street is one of the best strip shopping centres now in Melbourne, if not Australia. Sounds like a big call. If you haven't been down there, go and have a look.
Well, cafes, restaurants, shops, it's got the lot.
Train station, tram, best shops, supermarket, everything you possibly need. When you buy a property like that, you do not need a car.
No, and you'll never have it vacant either.
In fact, speaking of you don't need a car, in Carlisle Street is there is a Go Fleet.
Yes.
Have you heard of Go Fleet?
Yeah.
So there is just
Outside
outside
the
the service station,
yeah.
there is a Go Fleet, which means if you don't actually own a car, just join Go Fleet. Bit of a shout out for Go Fleet. I think it's Go Fleet, isn't it?
I think they call them petrol stations now, not service stations anymore, because you don't get your car serviced there anymore, do you?
Okay. I'm really coming into the 21st century. Thanks
Welcome,
for dragging
Phil.
me there.
Yeah.
But Go Fleet, great, you don't need a car. And a car is a depreciating asset, whilst property is an appreciating asset.
But we're not getting cash for comments here, are we? With Go Fleet or anything like that?
Do you know what? Happy to... we're happy
Those
to...
of Go Fleet, if you want to get in touch with
Correct.
our people, we'll be happy to...
Yeah, get your people to ring our people.
We'll sort it all out. Phil, another great apartment investment opportunity, at least at 4 at 17 Hewenden Road, again in East St Kilda. Again, a great place to buy an apartment because you really can't go wrong in Hewenden Road. There's always something fabulous for sale, and thankfully, apartment 4 at 17 is one that Joel Sir and Adam Josky have got for sale. 27th of Feb at 12:30. 2-bed, 1-bath, 1-car.
And
a great block too, big
One
flat.
of the joys about buying these apartments that are built in the 60s and 70s is that they're a good 30 to 40% bigger than a lot of the properties that have been built since really the year 2000 till today.
And they're solid, Phil.
Absolutely. And once again, great location there.
Can't go wrong. Another great location, Leon Guzenfitter is going to be selling 344 Inkerman Street in St Kilda. Again, another one of these cottage-style homes that's being
Single-fronted.
transformed into something bigger than what you see from the street.
That is a seriously good looking property, and we've got 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. It's a single fronted house, but it really is, it's massive.
It accommodates
inside.
a double front. It's modern Eleganceville with a touch of classic character.
Oh, there you go.
And for those that think that I came up with that, I didn't.
Poetry in motion. What's next up?
8 at 33 Hotham Street, again, another fabulous apartment opportunity investment as well. 2-bed, 1-bath, 1-car. Saturday the 5th of March, 11:30. Again, a good sized living area, hallway, updated kitchen. This apartment really is fantastic, and the block itself is in really good shape.
Beautifully renovated, that apartment too.
It is indeed. The next property I want to talk about, Phil, 2 at 7 Inverleith Court. This location is superb. A lot of people may not have heard of Inverleith because it's a quiet little cul-de-sac.
Yep.
Just behind Eildon Road.
Yes.
And off just near Ackland Street.
So viewers, walking distance to Ackland Street,
Yes.
Fitzroy Street and the beach.
Yes.
Couldn't get better location than
Transport at your doorstep.
that. Absolutely.
Tram, train, bus. But this one's really cool, architecturally designed over a few different levels. This floor plan really ticks all the boxes. You've got
3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. We've got a lock-up garage there as well. Pretty schmick inside, isn't it?
Very cool.
You move straight into that one and not spend a cent.
Very
But you're
cool.
right, it is a bit of a hidden location, which makes it even
a
more
hidden
fabulous
gem,
once you
Phil.
find it.
A hidden gem. Now, Nikki Janover, the lovely Nikki Janover and Max Chainsman, who had a great year in 2015. I know we don't want to talk about the past, but they're looking forward to big things this year. They've got a great apartment in Melby Avenue in East St Kilda, number 37. This one is a huge courtyard apartment, Philip. This is like buying a little house with a backyard. It's that big. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car, 6th of March, 10:30 a.m. If you have a look at this courtyard, ladies and gentlemen, it really doesn't get any better. Beautifully decked out, internally renovated, great size and great floor plan.
And
So
Melby,
check that
Melby
out.
Avenue, one of the top streets of East St Kilda, and viewers walking distance, literally not even walking
Almost
distance,
next door.
Right next door, you've got the Green Meadows Park, which is one of those little inner suburban parks that, unless you know about it, you would never know about it.
One of Melbourne's little well-kept secrets. So, Phil, that's the offerings that are coming up. They're
Yep.
coming thick and fast. St Kilda is going to be on fire. Anything Bayside at the moment, I think, is in really good shape. And as we heard earlier about what we think will happen in 2016, it's a good time to be a buyer or a seller. So if you're thinking at all about buying, please give one of our consultants a call. And again, if you're thinking about selling, always available, Phil.
And just in conclusion, again, I say this, if you're looking to invest in real estate and you want to make your first purchase, if you made it in the suburb of St Kilda or St Kilda East or Elwood.
Yep, anywhere Bayside, really.
Yeah, you just cannot go wrong.
Indeed, you cannot, Phil. That's a wrap, I think. Thanks for watching. Welcome to 2016. I hope it's a great year for you and your families. Enjoy.
Thanks for watching.